Friends, I'm back with another machine on the Vulnhub, which is LAMPSecurity CTF5. I will add the link into the description section below so that you can download it. This machine is a bit old, however, this doesn't lessen the chance of demonstrating a variety of techniques in respect to penetration. For example, like local file inclusion vulnerability, for example, like local privilege escalation, many very useful techniques. However, before we move forward, if you don't mind, please subscribe to my channel and leave a like below. You're greatly appreciated. So without further ado, let's just get started. I've already downloaded this image of the machine and imported the machine into the VMware workstation. So now we can go inside the Kali Linux VM. Firstly, we need to discover the IP address of the target. Usually, I use the net discover to do. However, net discover failed to discover the IP address of a target. So just I mentioned in the other videos, we cannot rely on one single utility or tool. In this case, we can use a map to do. We can use SN flag to do the host discovery. Maybe I can make the font to be bigger so you can see what's going on. As you can see, this time, the IP address of a target has been successfully identified as 226. Next, we need to do the nmap scanning. Of course, to save time, I have already completed this earlier. So now we just get out the result. As you can see, I used the option like sync scan, the version scan, the default script scan. I used the option of the uppercase PN not to do the alive testing. In other words, we will assume that the target is online. And then output the result into this file by the option of ON. So from the nmap scanning, we can tell that the target has several open ports. For example, like 22, which is running SSH and also the version information. The next one, 25, which is running SMTP service. And next one is 18, which is running HTTP service. And also the version information, which is Apache 2. And also tell us the operating system information, which is Fedora. And next one is 110, which is running POP3. And then 111 and 139, which is running Samba service. And the next one is running IMAP service. And next one is also running as Samba service. And the last one is 901. I think this one is very weird. However, this will not affect our penetration. We can neglect this port number in this case, in this context. The last one is 3306. Just I mentioned in the other video, if a file sharing service like Samba, like FTP, and also like NFS service is running on the target, such services should become the first choice to emulate. This case should be Samba service. And the tool to emulate Samba service is SMB client with option of L. And followed by the IP address of the target. However, negotiation has a problem. All right, next we can do the enumeration with my circle to see whether this target has weak credentials with relation to my circle surface. So we can use root and followed by the IP address of target, and the password is root. Access denied, which is fine. Next, we need to take our focus on the next surface, which is HTTP. We need to do the enumeration both manually and automatically. Let's launch our browser. First, do the enumeration manually. And we can put the IP address of the target into the address bar. As you can see, we got the page back. As always, we need to check the source code of this page, which doesn't reveal anything important. And also we can check each effective link like about us. So from the URL pattern, we can guess that maybe this URL has LFI vulnerability or local file inclusion vulnerability. We can copy the URL and note it down to our notebook. Later we can check manually. And let's continue our enumeration. The next one is ND. And from here we can know that this ND directory is running nano CMS. So we can copy this one. CMS. And the directory is ND. And here there is a admin login panel. We can check whether we can use weak credential like admin as username and admin as a password as well to log in. Failed. And also we can try to use login bypass technique. And password, you know, this is very standard or common practice to enumerate the web application. Failed, wrong username and password. So we need to go back to the home page of this nano CMS. Of course, we need to check whether this CMS has vulnerability in remote code execution. Of course, so far we don't know the version of this CMS. Also, we can use the Google to make some more research. Nano exploit. Yeah, the web application abuses. The first link leads us I think one vulnerability. Yeah, this page can leak the password hash information. Later we can check it manually, right? Maybe we can check now. So we just copy this file name and go back. It does work. As you can see, we got the username and password, and we can copy this password. Of course, it's so obvious that this password is encrypted in MD5. Then we can use the crack station to crack it. Of course, I'm not a robot. Buses. Verify crack hashes. As you can see, we got the successful results. And we can note it down to our notebook. So now I think we can log in, right? We can log in to the target, to this CMS, admin, and channel login. Here, from the title, we can tell that this target has, yeah, we can get the version of this one. So this version is exactly matching this information. So maybe we can copy down this path, we can use the same utility, searchsploit, and copy. Sorry about that. Next, of course, I can rename to this one, to, for example, exploit py. And then we can cut out this Python code. And this, I think this is written in Python 2 or Python 3, Python 3, yeah? So how to use this code? Maybe we can just run Python and exploit. I think it will give us the usage or example. So now we can specify the username, admin, password. So what's the password? We have already got the password. And the address. I think we can provide the URL, right? And the file. So what's the file? What's the file? Password file. If uploading, all right, I think we can upload the PHP reverse shell file, right? So how to do? Of course, I've already prepared this file, share.php. You can download it from the Pentest Monkey website. So now we run this code again. Specify the username and password. So this should be the URL, right? Rather than IP address. I think so. The user address. So the file. Host name. All right. I think we can copy this URL. And the shell. Maybe I need to cut out this. It's a bit complicated code. Anyway. The file. So I think we do not need to use the option f. As you can see, if successful, file location to be this one. So now we can set up the listener and copy this URL. Hopefully we can get a reverse shell. It works. So now we can, of course, we can check the version of the Python on the target as usual. Next, we need to do the immersion, right? Of course, just I mentioned, I cannot remember whether I mentioned earlier. This is a bit old machine, so we can check the kernel. Yeah, very old version of kernel. And before we do that, I think it's time to use Limpia shell script to do the automatic immersion. And of course, I've already prepared the Limpia shell script already. So now we just set up the web server locally on the Kali Linux. Next, we can use wget utility. Limpiers. And in order to run this shell script, we need to make it executable. And then we can run this shell script. You know, during the stage of a privilege escalation, Limpier shell script is so powerful because it can automatically enumerate out very rich information from the user name information, process information, SUID binary information, capability information, process information, and so on and so forth. So at this point, we just wait for this to be finished over to see whether we can find the vector for us to elevate a privilege. As you can see, interesting files, SUID. So now this shell script is checking SUID binary. It's done, all right? And let's scroll back to see whether we can find something important or interesting, which can help us to make elevation. It's a pity, although just mentioned, this machine is a bit old. However, Limpier shell script cannot find any vector in terms of privilege escalation. So how to do? Maybe we need to use the searchsploit utility to check vulnerability manually. Sorry. Kernel. And so what's the kernel information? ULAM. So this one. Maybe I can grip it out. Linux. So a lot of available exploits. However, if you take a look at these exploits one by one from top to bottom, this line is metasploit module. Of course, just I mentioned in the other video, if you have already followed my channel, if metasploit has corresponding module, this module or this way should be more preferable. So how to do? I think firstly we need to set up the meterpreter session first. So how to do? We need to msfvenom. Of course, this time the architecture is not 64. We need to change it to 86. And also we need to change the local host. And also local port number. Of course, we need to use different port number. All right, it's done. All right, next we need to upload this payload to the target. It's done. We need to make it executable. before we run this payload, we need to set up the handler first. We can launch our metasploit console by running command msf console. Then we need to use the exploit multi-handler, and we need to set the payload. This payload must be configured the same as this one. So we just copy this payload and paste it in here. And then we can show options. We can set the localhost to Kali Linux. Set the local port number to 66. This local port number must be the same as this one as when we create the payload. And then we can run this module. As you can see, the handler has started. Next, we can go over to the target shell. We run this payload. As you can see, we have already got the meterpreter session. Wonderful, right? And we can by press Control and Z background this session, and then we can search the module. Because the module, we can use this as keyword, send page. Send page. And then we can use this module. Then we can show options again. Set localhost to our Kali Linux. Set local port number to different port number. And set the session number to 1, because at this moment, or so far, there is just only one session. And then we can run this module. Hopefully, yeah, we need to set the false exploit to be true and run it again. As you can see, we got the second meterpreter session, and we can get the shell session by run shell and run the ID. As you can see, we have already got the shell which belong to root user. And then we can navigate to root directory. Do we need to retrieve the root flag? I'm not sure. However, I think we have already got the privileged access or shell. All right. Maybe we can go to the desktop. No, nothing. And go to the... Maybe we can find root.txt. No, I think that's pretty much it. I'd like to see you in the next one. Bye. Have a nice day.